The Meralco Bolts are out to sustain their winning momentum against a team they know extremely well, Barangay Ginebra. Now, can they get the job done against their rivals in the season-ending conference? Well, let's find out right now. Joining us to go all out on this story is none other than Meralco Bolts head coach Norman Black. Coach, magandang umaga. Thank you again for joining us here on the show. Thank you for always saying yes.
Andre, magandang umaga. It's nice to be back.
Coach, I was teasing you earlier. I was saying, Coach, how are you? How are things? You have a game against Ginebra. He said, ask me after 12 hours, and I will ask you after 12 hours. Big game tonight against Barangay Ginebra. The first of a tough, very tough, 3-game schedule. You will next play Converge this Friday, and then Phoenix on Sunday. How are you? How ready are you for this 3-game, really tough stretch in the Governor's Cup, Coach?
Yeah, we just played Magnolia last Sunday and Inlex last Thursday. So we're in the middle of a 5-game, maybe 10-day stretch as far as our schedule is concerned. So Conte Mahira, Pero. We won the first 2 games, so we have a little bit of momentum going into the Ginebra game. Of course, Alam Lahat, diba? Magaling Ginebra teams. So we're really going to have to be on our A game. We're going to get a victory tonight.
Coach, against Ginebra, of course, Scotty Thompson and Justin Brownlee also coming off games with Gilas Pilipinas. So maybe fatigue can play as a factor there, coming off a win against Lebanon Friday and then a loss against Jordan Monday. Will there be, you think, an extra effort against them, but most likely they will use this as some kind of a bounce back for them after losing that tough loss as well that they had to go through with Gilas Monday?
And let's not forget that Malonzo is also on the national team, as well as their head coach, Tim Cone. So they're probably all a little bit tired from the games that they played for the national team. But like I said, we're in the middle of a 5-game, 10-day stretch ourselves. So we also are a little bit tired, probably. But at this point of the conference, when every game is important, I think we're just running on adrenaline. And you don't really think about it too much about being tired. You just look forward to the next game. Hopefully the coaching staff can pace the team well so they'll be fresh when the game starts. And, of course, the preparation for the game mentally is really important.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, looking at your numbers and looking at your games, well, overall, you have been consistent. Well, KJ McDaniels has been playing solid, scoring-wise, also on the defensive side of the ball. Then you got your local dependables. Of course, you got Alain Maliksi, you got AB, Aaron Black. Chris Newsom is back, and it's like he never left. He's also, being the leader that he is out there for the team. And you still have your other guys that contribute a lot. Almazan, Bong Quinto, sorry about that, Coach. But who else do you want to see more of? Like, who do you need to step up? Like, which player or players that you continuously remind that we're going to need you, especially with your grueling schedule and the games coming up?
Well, you mentioned the guys who have been pretty consistent for us. You didn't mention CB Banchero. He was a big part of our team also, so we really need him to come in and help us. He's been coming off the bench, but he can come in and give us points and give us assists, good defense, so we need him to really step up also. At the same time, I just need one more big to come in and help out and spell KJ when he comes out of the game. Just hold his own. I don't expect him to be a superstar out there, but just hold his own while KJ is on the bench for 4 or 5 minutes. If we can get that type of performance from everybody, then we'll be okay. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we've had some guys who have been pretty consistent this entire conference, and we need them to continue that.
Mm-hmm. Coach, how about Raymond Almazan? Well, we all know he's coming off an injury. Like status-wise, how much is he? He's not obviously 100%, but how is he coping coming off that injury, Coach?
He's actually been playing pretty well the last couple of games. He's brought a lot of energy to the court, particularly on the defensive end and blocking shots and playing good defense. Raymond's a big part of our team. We struggled a little bit when he was struggling, but the last 2 games, he's come in with a lot of energy, particularly with the second team, and it's made a big difference for us. So He's the tallest guy I have. He's the best big man I have. So I'm hoping and praying that he'll get out there and continue to do well. In addition to that, Cliff Hodge has been playing well defensively for us. He always had the toughest tasks out there on the court because he has to either guard the import, or last game he had to guard Calvin Agueva. So his job is difficult every single night. But as long as he can come out and defend well and rebound the basketball, then it gives us a much better chance.
Coach, you're number 6 currently in the team standings, 5-3, but it's like a log jam here with Magnolia right behind you with 4-4. Phoenix also trying to play catch up with 3-5. Ginebra is 4-2. So you're next to each other in the team standings. You'll be facing each other. And both Ginebra and you guys, Meralco, have had so much success here in this particular conference in the Governor's Cup. I know it's been really tough, but KJ's been your import. You're familiar with him since the Commissioner's Cup, but with the schedule and then some games being because of Gilas Pilipinas as well, we had to have some breaks. But what has been the toughest part of this particular campaign this year in the Governor's Cup compared to the previous years, wherein you've always consistently made it to the finals?
Yeah, I think the last 4 out of 5 years, we've actually played Ginebra in the finals of this conference.
Yeah.
So we've had some success here as far as winning games. Of course, we haven't won the championship, but we've had some success as far as getting to the championship. Right now, we're just in a situation which is not that bad because if you think about it, the teams that we're fighting in position for to try to get to twice the beat, we actually play. We play Ginebra tonight. We play Converge on Friday. Those are 2 of the teams that we're fighting with. The other team is Inlex, who we just beat last Thursday. So, at this point of the conference, the best thing is to win games. You want to make it to the top 4. If you want to get that advantage, you have to win games. So our first chance is tonight against Ginebra. We know that's going to be difficult. Mm-hmm. Then we got another tough one coming up on Friday against Converge.
Mm-hmm. Coach, your thoughts on the teams that you'll be facing? Converge, they're currently 6-3. They just got off that tough loss to Phoenix. They're number 4 in the team standings, but they're playing solid with their import Jamal Franklin. They have a great coach in Aldenayo, and the schemes that they play, and they have a young team. They have a run and gun team. Your thoughts on Converge as well? Of course, you'll be facing Ginebra first. I know you want to take it one game at a time, but your thoughts on the next opponent after Ginebra, which is Converge, Coach?
Well, defense will be the key tonight. Ginebra leads the league in shooting percentage. I mean, they shoot the ball really well from 2 points and 3 points. Stan Hardinen's been playing great. So we're going to have to play defense to have any chance to win this game. Yeah. And the same thing goes true for the Friday. We play Converge. They're one of the top scoring teams in the league. They probably run at the fastest pace of any team in the league.
Correct.
In other words, they get the ball up the court and take quick shots. So you're really going to have to be in condition. You're going to have to be well rested by the time we play them because we know they're going to get out and run up and down the court on every opportunity. So a lot of it depends on how we're able to keep our guys fresh, not only into tonight's game, but also into Friday's game and also on Sunday's game against Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Coach, I want to shift now to Gilas. We were trying to have this conversation, but tough stretch for Gilas. But of course, hearing Coach Chot Reyes, it was a great two games. Beating Lebanon and then losing to Jordan just by a single point. Your thoughts on Gilas, Coach, and how they played in the two games in that 6th and final window over the weekend?
Yes, I watched both games, and I think it's really positive for the Gilas team at this point. Of course, they were missing some key players that they'll probably have back for the World Cup. But at the same time, I thought they played very, very well against Lebanon. I really loved the fact that Justin Brownlee got out there and played well right away for the national team, which means that he is a great addition to the team and he's going to be able to help them in the future. We struggled a little bit in game 2 because of the pick and roll defense. Jordan was scoring a lot off of the pick and roll defense. And in the second half, excuse me, we started to switch to pick and rolls. We were able to do that because, let's face it, all our players are about the same size, and Justin Brownlee played the 5 along with Malonzo playing the 4. Mm-hmm. So everybody could guard everybody because pretty much Scotty Thompson can guard everybody. So the switching defense helped out in the second half. It wasn't enough to win the game, but you could see the change in philosophy there, which helped us get back into the basketball game. You got to look at the fact that we're missing some key players, particularly big guys. You know, Kai Soto was not there. Japhet Aguilar was not there. These guys will be key when it comes to playing in the World Championships because of the size and the talent that they bring to the table. So I thought it was a good run. Certainly, it was very entertaining. I enjoyed the games watching them.
How was Justin Brownlee's performance overall in the sixth window, Coach? Because, he tried to will Gilas, as we take a look at his averages here, close to 30 a game, 8 boards a game, 4 assists, and 32 minutes in those 2 games combined. And I was talking to basketball analyst Juan Banal. Even before the window began last week, he said, I know Justin will be playing as a naturalized player here, but we need him to play as an import. And import, he did play. Your thoughts on Justin's performance, Coach, for Gilas in his first stint as a naturalized player for Gilas Pilipinas?
Well, I think the first thing that you have to look at is the fact that he played out of position. He actually played the center spot for a lot of the game in the first and the second. So that's something that's not going to happen when we get our bigger players in. The first game, he did not really have to score much because the other guys shot the ball really, really well, and they were able to contribute a lot to the team. The second game, he had to bring it because the other guys weren't playing as well, and he had to score the points. So you can see the versatility of Justin, his talent, the fact that he can score if needed, the fact that he can play bigger than his size, and the fact that he's going to be playing a small forward position probably when we play the World Championships. So he'll fit right in at that position. So he's versatile. He gives the team different needs that they may have. He can take care of different needs that they may have during the course of a game. And we've seen it over and over again, particularly me. I've seen it over and over again.
Yeah.
He's just a talented player who has a great attitude.
Yeah.
And that's really a big part of it.
Was Gilas too reliant on JB, especially against Jordan? You just said about the pick and roll, because we were dominated in that high pick and roll that Jordan was using, and then with Junmar in there, he couldn't catch up with the guards. We were just being decimated with that high pick and roll. That's why JB also had to play the 5 position. We had to play the small ball. But if we take a look at the numbers here, Justin Brownlee just really consistent, especially in that game against Jordan where he had to carry the cudgels offensively as well. 12 boards for him, along with 41 points, 3 assists, 35 minutes. Your thoughts on that, Coach? And moving forward, I asked Juan this. I know it's still early, but if you get to have a choice, do we go with a guy like Jordan Clarkson, or do we go with a guy like Justin Brownlee, or even Anand Kwame as a naturalized player, Coach?
Well, I thought the coach, to answer all your questions, I thought the coach did what he had to do. I mean, he switched to pick and roll defense at halftime, Coach Chuck, because he saw it wasn't working. And he knew all of his players are the same size anyway, basically. Yeah. So you can just switch all of that. Like I said, you can do that because of Scotty Thompson. Yeah. Scotty can guard a big guy at the moment. So you're able to get away with that. That was the reason why I thought they caught up in the game. Yeah. Going back to Justin, he did what he had to do. I mean, when you're down and you're an import, you're an import. You're an import for a reason. You have to take over the game. That's exactly what he did. That's not normally in his character. He normally plays a little bit more as far as team ball is concerned, but he could see for them to get back in the game, he would have to put up points and he would have to be productive. And he stepped up and did that because that's his talent. That's what he does. Moving forward, I'm not going to answer that question. I mean, that's Coach Chuck's call, who he wants to get as a naturalized player. I'm not really sure. Justin's always there because he's here in the Philippines and he's always in shape, so he can always fill in. Yeah. But at the same time, you're talking about Jordan Clarkson. I mean, talking about pretty much an NBA All-Star, close to being an NBA All-Star. So he can also come in and deliver. So they have options. Moving forward, as far as who they can use, I would think that a lot of it would depend on the availability of Kai Soto. Yeah. If Kai Soto is playing the slot position, everything changes. True. Everything changes. And you can actually choose whatever naturalized player you want to fill in with him.
What else do we need to watch out for, Coach, as we prepare for the World Cup that we are hosting, and that will happen, of course, in a few months later this year?
I think preparation will be really important. I've been through that process before as part of the national team over the years. I've been involved when we had no time to prepare. That will not be the case this year. The PBA is actually changing its schedule just to accommodate the national team. And the national team, led by Mr. Manny Pangilinan and, of course, Chuck Reyes as the head coach, these guys will make sure that the preparation is there and these guys have good training moving into the World Cup because, remember, it is here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get in. We want to go out and play as well as we can.
Of course.
So I'm sure they will prepare very, very well moving into the World Cup. And expect they'll do a little bit of traveling. They'll probably play some games overseas against other teams that'll be going to the World Cup in preparation for the tournament.
SEA Games is 2 months from now, Coach. Should Gilas even consider like this event as part of their preparations as well? I know we've dominated the region years past, but of course use that as a good preparation for the World Cup, Coach.
Well, my question to you, did we win the last SEA Games? I would go in there and dominate it. To the region. I'm not the coach. I'm not running the program, but I actually coached in that tournament before. We won the championship with a college team, actually, college players. And I would probably take this year very serious in preparation for the World Cup, and I would go in there and take the best players and crush the tournament if I could.
Yeah, well.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I like how you turn things around, pointed back at me, because, you're correct, though. With Indonesia, Thailand, they're catching up. These guys are leveling up their basketball programs there. Coach, maraming salamat for your time. Thank you for your time. I always enjoy our conversations. Regards to your son, Aaron. I love that kid. Good luck tonight against Ginebra. Maraming salamat for talking to us about Gilas, about Meralco, about the PBA. Thank you, Coach. I'll get back to you. I'll message you in 12 hours. Check on how you're doing. That was Meralco Bolts head coach, one and only, Norman Black.